What time do you have to test tomorrow? We have tested tomorrow, say, at 1 o'clock? 10. And we move to 1 o'clock? Oh, man. You want to take 8 to 10 down? What? Okay, I don't understand this big. Tomorrow they will. After you call you right away. Just can you give me a light? I want to give me a light in life right now. Give me a light. What night? Ask the friend. Ask the what night? Don't judge it. Your class this class.
Yeah, and also we're going to be happy. The more I please, I'm good to please. Then right. And do my private work. No, I have to do my private work tomorrow. Did you communicate with your friends over this one? What's that? Soya.
The groundnut. You say groundnut.
And soya.
But
Yeah. How much is it?
he says like he's not in the field, but I will be in the field this Friday.
Check if I can also get some soya for me too.
Okay.
Let me now go to where I'm going to town. Good man, welcome.
You wrote that you don't sit and hear them. No, it's what assurance. What is assurance? So what is assurance? Last time what we say what to continue the topic. Come again? And what do we say assurance is? What did we say assurance is? Assurance, Yvonne. What did we say last time? What is assurance? Because we cannot be talking of assurance, and yet we are all this assurance. We are all this what do assurance. There are so many auditors. We say they are auditors, but we are letting auditors assurance. What did we say assurance?
This we have different processes and procedures. Advised.
Keep on. Assurance. There are so many meanings that you can even search and have them, but in some of the meanings we say, assurance service involves lending credibility to information, whether that information is the financial or non-financial, whereby we look into audit services. that remains dormant in that area, and then we want to examine what we can do to provide assurance to such, let's say, activity. So we cannot talk about assurance without talking about, let's say, credibility, accuracy. All these are some of the characteristics that when we are answering, we should put in. And not only that, we should also talk about performance. So when we are talking about assurance, there are so many things that we can engage into by answering this assurance, but we should not forget that these are some of the ways that are very important in our learning. So we say assurance engagement. Assurance engagement. What do you think are some of the assurance engagements? Yes, reasonable assurance. When we're doing the engagement, of course, it depends on the assurance of the engagement that we have been engaged with. But we can maybe talk about assurance engagement that can provide, let's say, several things. Let's say by assuring the audit standards, whether they are being followed. So when we are talking about assurance engagement, an engagement which we can express our assurance in our conclusion by looking into the degree of confidence when they are using the audit standards. Mind you, people can say we have finished our books or we have done our financial statements, but they don't use sometimes which is standard. So you as an assurance auditor, you're supposed to go and look into whether they are really doing the intended standards that have been used in their financial statements. So you are supposed to evaluate and even measure how they have used. So assurance is something that we should also think that when we are looking into the audit standards. So when we are talking about assurance engagements, it means that we can be talking about the way we're going to express our degree of confidence based on the duties that we have been engaged with. So as the auditors, we are supposed to know the way forward. We can also look into the, let's say, assurance in them using the accounting standards. How have they? Before I talked about the audit standards, and now I'm talking about the accounting standards. Because mind you, if you are auditing, it means you are auditing whether they have done the right things and you are using your standards in your auditing. So these are some of the things that when you are talking about the assurance engagement, you are talking about how are they using the standards in both ways, either in auditing or in accounting? So when we can be talking about international, let's say, framework, when we're talking about assurance engagement, we can talk about let's say, something to do with professional accountant evaluation, where we talk about the suitable criteria and where we express our conclusions that they have been using the international framework or international standard. So we are talking about, this is the third one, the audit standard, the accounting standard, the international framework, where we are talking about the professional standards or professional accounting evaluations that we can be involved in our assurance engagement. So take note that the name assurance service is used to describe a broad range of information. A broad range of information that may be provided by professional accountants. So you as the auditors, they are also professionals, mind you. When you are talking, in fact, if I can ask you, everybody of you is an accountant, but we are learning this. Why? Because we are going to be doing the same things, accountant and auditor. There is no way an auditor can come and check you and yet he doesn't know what he's checking. They can't just pick somebody from outside and say, please can you go and be an assurance auditor? Unless somebody has gone to class and is a professional. So therefore, we should know that when we're talking about the assurance service, we always think about things that concern professionals. Where we can think about, let's say, providing confidence and credibility to the required people, also integrity on the subject matter. So we can base on mainly three things when we are talking about it: assurance service, credibility. Four things there: credibility, confidence, integrity, action. So all these are some of the things that we can look into. Importance of assurance. Importance of assurance. What do you think assurance is important? Important. Important? What do you think assurance is important? Assurance. Why should we be talking about assurance? Come again?
You mentioned fairness.
Fairness. Good. Move on. If we're talking about assurance, it's important. Is to provide an independent, professional verification on the subject matter. That's the first one. The second one, it may give additional confidence. So give additional confidence. Give additional confidence to who? Give additional confidence to who? To the organization, good, and even other parties that are involved in the report. So, it gives additional confidence. For example, banks, they are confident that yes, the report is done through assurance audit. And then the other thing is the availability of independent checks may prevent errors, as we say. Helps prevent errors and what? And fraud. The other time when we were talking about the same, the other time when we met, she talked about risk. The risk reduces the risk. So when we're talking about assurance, these are some of the importance that we can think about when we are talking about assurance. Also, it ensures high quality. High quality, reliable information, to the organization. So these are some of the importance that we can talk about in brief, but there are so many that we can even explore and have them as the importance to assurance. We also have maybe to look into something, to look into the reasonable assurance engagement, where we should be talking about an understanding of an aligning subject matter and other engagement circumstances, identifying and assessing the risks of material misstatements in the subject matter. Where there, we are just talking about a reasonable assurance engagement, whereby we are going to be assessing the risk of, let's say, the materials and the statements that we are engaging with. And another thing, we can be looking into the designing and performing of procedures. How are they performing their procedures? You know, every organization has got its procedures, regulations, as well as the, let's say, internal controls are supposed to be looked into when we're talking about something to do with the assurance engagement. As auditors, we are supposed to look into all those and make a report on them if we are engaged into such engagement. When we're talking about reasonable assurance again, we should be talking about evaluating the sufficiency and appropriateness of the evidence that was obtained in connection of what they are doing. So when we are talking about that, you cannot, as we already know that when we are talking about audit, there's no way we can talk about audit without the evidence. So audit is always evidence-based, as well as when you are looking into books, you are supposed to give me evidence that these are my evidence as I was looking into or I was auditing their book. So when we are talking about assurance, these are in short the things that we should be working on, and let's explore more about them so that we should be know them according to what we aspire to know. So there's this again statement that the book is giving us that says there is much confusion in the investing public's mind about true nature of assurance that service provides and expressed in their report. This is often because users are not aware of the nature of the limitation on assurance. What do you think are the limitations of assurance? Limitations? What are you think are the limitations of assurance? We are supposed to give them, let's say, confidence, as you have written there. What do you think are some of the limitations which can be involved? Yvonne, limitation. You are an assurance, and then you are given an engagement. What do you think are the limitations of assurance? People think that when we are going there to have an audit assurance, they think we are doing such services as guaranteeing the correctness of what we have done. But that's not it. It's management. Because when we are talking about the audit, even banks are confident to say, yes, these have done good work. Even other stakeholders, shareholders, yes, we did. But do we go there to correct them? No, we don't. Because of that, people think the things that they have done are wrong. But in reality, this is not a fact. Let's go back to books of accounts. Double entry. But DR minus CR, which is double entry. That's what we know as a concept. That when it's the same figure, let's say 35, for each balance, here it has to be 35 again. Of course, it's going to be straight like that, but maybe somewhere. Or addition of something has to add up to the same. That's the thing, is it?
Yeah.
But if they make a mistake and the figures balance, well, we are going to check it as well. But it's not. Is it?
Yeah.
Ningo yerekeza nina mwicheo. Panitahamu, vimene tufuna tukule, let's say, for example, pen, ruler, calculator, and then whatever is necessary for us to be using in accounting. Then you are given a 60,000. You take it to the shop, you buy all them, but the amount is worth 60,000 for all of them straight. The other money, I don't know whether you do it, you eat it or not. But when you write in the book, you write 50,000, the same as you have what you were given. Is the auditor going to bring that the other money was not used? No. He's going to say the books. But the reality on the ground is not by the accountant. So, despite that we are assurance auditors, we have still that gap that people think we are doing or we are checking the correct things, but in reality, we are not. I hope I've explained well. Yes. Good. So that is the limitation in connection of assurance. And again, it can also be misunderstood by users, where there can still be a gap between the auditor and the people that are hearing what we are doing. So, there's that sometimes a misunderstanding that can be there. For the people to understand what you have written, it's not everybody that knows accounting, others do not. So there can be that misunderstanding based on how the public can understand. So there are steps that can be taken to reduce the gap between public expectations and audit performance, improve the assurance service provider. So we as the performance auditor, as the assurance auditor, we are supposed to be very, very good in our work. We are supposed to improve the performance that we are going to be doing on the ground. Again, we should educate the public how we have done our work, because otherwise, for them to understand, it will be a bit difficult. So, when we are talking about assurance engagement, we are talking about the things that we are supposed to give them assurance, or supposed to be credible, supposed to be accurate, supposed to be use our integrity for us to do the right things that we are reporting. So in summary, we can say an assurance engagement is where one party is engaged to give an opinion on a piece of information that has been prepared by another party. An assurance that has 5 major elements, namely three-party relation, subject matter, suitable criteria, sufficient appropriate evidence, and even a written report. Some benefits on an assurance are independent professional opinion, additional confidence to the user. Also detect fraud and errors. So, as we are assurance auditors, we are supposed to know them that these are the things that we should know as the auditors. Any questions? Any questions? Today, we just have to look into this. We started last week, but today we should look into something different. We should know it more so that we should be able just Today we just have to look into fraud, risk, and control. Fraud, risk, and control. I know we already know what fraud is, we already know what risk is, and we already know what control is. What is fraud?
This fraud is more using companies' material or equipment for personal benefit.
Using company material, money, assets, or anything for personal benefit. Yvonne. Fraud. Yvonne. So when we're talking about this, the prevention or detection of fraud is one of the most important issues in auditing. So us as audit and assurance, we should have at least something, maybe the knowledge about that. So we should have a bit of the knowledge of fraud and the control. So fraud is any illegal act that is characterized by deceit, concealment, or a violation of trust. So, when we are talking about the fraud, we are talking about fraud penetrated by parties and organizations to obtain money, property, or services, to avoid payment or loss of services, or to secure personal or business advantage. So it's not only personal but also business. We are talking about fraud being an illegal act that talks about deceit, concealment, concealment, or violation of trust. So we can continue to say fraud penetrated by parties and organizations to obtain money. Fraud penetrated by parties and organizations to obtain money, property, or services. Fraud penetrated by parties and organizations to obtain money, property, or services to avoid payment or loss of services, or to secure personal or business advantage. So when we are talking about the fraud, we should always think about the obtaining a reasonable assurance that the objective for the process under review are achieved and the material controls are detected. We are talking about something to do in connection of fraud. We should think about obtaining a reasonable assurance that for the objective that you are doing. What are we saying? We are talking about the main point of us going to do the audit, where we are supposed to have a reasonable assurance, and not only that, we should also achieve the material control, also the detection of that. All deficiencies have to be detected. When we are talking about the fraud, we should go there and take the real evidence that really shows that somebody did fraud. So, as assurance auditors, mind you, they are also talking about obtaining a reasonable assurance that yes, this person has really stolen, or this is really what happened in connection of fraud. For example, you can have an asset recorded in the books or in the ledger that is available, and yet if you go physically see them, you cannot find them. There are people around you. Why? This one has been recorded. Why is it that one number really now? So there are some of the things that people do. So as auditors, we are supposed to look into all of them. All fraud risks should be documented. So when we are talking about fraud, we should all document our suspicions of